What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another do and don't video where we're going to talk about what you should do and shouldn't do this week in GTA 5 Online. As always, we're going to talk about how to make the most money, the best investments, what to buy, what not to buy, the best discounts and values, and any cool, fun, or discontinued vehicles that are available during this week's update. With that said, let's get right into it. Do open wheel races and RC Bandito races. We have triple money and RP on both of these, so if you like races, I would definitely suggest doing these this week. You can find these in the stunt races category under Rockstar created jobs. Don't do taxi work. Yes, I know it's quadruple money in RP, but even with that, you're not going to make a lot of money, so unless you're doing this for leisure, I don't think you'll look back and feel like you spent your time wisely. Do buy the FH1 Hunter. This helicopter is on a 30% discount and will now run you just under 2.2 million. This is one of the best weaponized helicopters in the game. Anytime this helicopter is on sale, I'd always recommend buying it. First of all, you can make this thing look really good, but more importantly, it has a ridiculous set of weapons. First, it has a bomb bay, where you can open the doors and drop an array of bombs on the ground below. It also comes with different types of missiles. First, there are homing missiles, which I'm sure almost all of you are aware of, but these things actually do track really well. And if that was all, I'd probably say that's good enough, but it also comes with barrage missiles. This fires multiple missiles in succession, allowing you to bombard any vehicles or people below or in front of you. When upgrading and customizing this helicopter, there are also different options for the types of bombs and missiles that you want to use. This thing can cause absolute mayhem if you know how to use it right, so I'd highly recommend buying it while it's on discount. Don't buy the Sea Sparrow. It's currently on a 30% discount and can be purchased for just over 1.2 million. I'm not going to say this is necessarily a bad helicopter. It is good for landing on water and for landing softly on land, which is certainly better than the regular Sparrow, but other than that, there's really not that many benefits that would put it over other helicopters in the game. When you land on water, it does have the issue of potentially floating away, and similar to the regular Sparrow, it cannot withstand much damage. All in all, there are plenty of better helicopters in the game, and there are so many other vehicles that can do the same or better. Don't buy the Buckingham Maverick. It's also on a 30% discount, and currently costs just under $550,000. So while yes, you can get this super cheap, there are so many better helicopters in the game that it's really not worth it unless you're a collector or really like the look of it. Do buy the Bravado Banshee. It's currently on a 30% discount, and I'd love to be able to tell you the price, but for as long as I can remember, it's been free for me in GTA Online. And while I'm sure most of you already own some form of this vehicle, if you don't already have it, I'd recommend getting yourself one because it can be upgraded to an HSW vehicle, as well as it being a Benny's car. Although these cannot be stacked, so if you upgrade this Banshee to a Benny's car, it'll turn into the 900R, which changes the model, meaning it's no longer HSW eligible. So I ended up buying two of them and upgrading one to HSW and the other at Benny's. Yes, this car has been around forever, but it's still really fast and it has a bunch of really good upgrade options. Do buy the Ubermacht SC1. This vehicle is on a 30% discount, and you can buy it for just over 1.1 million. Now, I wouldn't say it's necessarily cheap depending on how much money you have, but in my opinion, it's a really good looking car, and now that it's discontinued, meaning it's no longer on Legendary Motorsport, it's become a bit of a rarity. I'm a big fan of the style of this car, as well as how it drives. You can find this vehicle at Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport, along with the other discontinued vehicles that we'll talk about in a minute. Okay, so this is going to sound like a bit of a cop-out, but I put these next three vehicles in both the do and don't category, and I'll explain why. Do buy the Declass DR1, the ProGen PR4, and the Ocelot R88. They're all on a 40% discount. The DR1 is 1.8 million, the PR4 is 2.1 million, and the R88 is just under 1.9 million. All of these are on huge discounts, and they're all super fun to drive, and you can make them look really cool. For me, these are in the do category because if you race or collect them, they're absolutely worth it. However, I also have these in the don't category for these reasons. First, even with a 40% discount, they are still super expensive. Also, if you're someone like me that doesn't race very often, then you may not use them enough for it to be worth it to you. And lastly, these fall apart very easily. I realize they're not supposed to be driven on crowded roads where they can crash into cars, people, and buildings, but it only takes a few nicks on these cars for pieces to start flying everywhere. Overall, if you have the money and use them correctly, I think they're absolutely worth it, and even for somebody like me who doesn't race very often, I still had a lot of fun with these vehicles, but I wouldn't blame you for not wanting to spend all of that money, or will get upset when pieces of the car start flying all over the place after crashing a couple of times. Don't buy the Shih Tzu Squallow. It's on a 30% discount and will only cost you around $138,000. However, and I don't think I need to go too deep into this, GTA 5 does not cater to boats. And by that I mean, what do we actually use boats for when it comes to personal vehicles? So unless you're a collector of some sort, I don't think it's worth it. But again, it's so cheap, if you feel like buying it, go right ahead. Do spin the lucky wheel. The podium vehicle this week is the Benefactor BR8. This race car is valued at a ridiculous $3.4 million on Legendary Motorsport, so if you get a chance, absolutely try and win this car for free. Even if you don't use it, you'll be getting it at such a good value that it's worth the try. Do look for discontinued vehicles, meaning any vehicles that have been removed from the GTA websites. 5 of these vehicles can be found at Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport. First, the Ubermacht SC1, which again is on a 30% discount and you can buy for just over $1.1 million. Next is the Dundreary Landstalker XL, which you can get for just over $875,000. Then we have the Ubermacht Zion Classic, which will cost around $590,000. The Shyster Deviant for just over $530,000, and the Western Wolfsbane, a motorcycle costing just over $120,000. There are 3 other discontinued vehicles that can be found at the LS Car Meet. First, we have the Albany Alpha, which can be purchased for $150,000, the Pegazian Furnace for $440,000, and the Grotti Stinger for $595,000. Definitely do your weekly time trials. This week, the HSW time trial is at Del Perro Beach, and the regular time trial is at the Los Santos International Airport. Also happening in GTA Online this week, the LS Car Meet prize ride vehicle is the Willard Eudora. It's valued at $1.25 million on Southern San Andreas Super Autos. In order to win this for free, you'll have to place top 3 in LS Car Meet races for 3 days in a row. For salvage yard robberies, the top tier is the Grotti Itali GTO Stinger TT for the cargo ship robbery. In the standard tier, we have the Vapid Dominator GTT for the gangbanger robbery. And in the low tier, the Dinka Blista Canjo for the McTony robbery. At Luxury Autos, we have the Gallivanter Baller STD, which can be purchased for just over $1.7 million, and the DeClass Vigero ZX Convertible, which you can buy for just over $2.3 million. Back at the LS Car Meet, we have the HSW Premium Test Ride, which this week is the Karen Vivanite. If you want to purchase this, it'll cost you just over $2.4 million. Okay, so that's all I got for you this week. To be honest, after being somewhat spoiled the last few weeks with so many ways to make money, I figured one of these weeks were coming. While there are still some good discounts available, like the ones for the FH1 Hunter and the 3 race cars, everything else, especially ways to make money, are seriously lacking. And I don't know if anyone's noticed, but the GTA Plus benefits are going absolutely crazy this month. So maybe this was their way of trying to get people to jump over to that. If you're interested in what those benefits are, check out the video popping up on your screen right now, or find the link in the description. There are so many, and I mean so many, good discounts, it's almost suspicious. Not to mention there are multiple free cars instead of just one, additional money benefits for the next few months on top of what they already provide, and a really cool future gift that will probably entice a good amount of people once the summer DLC starts coming into focus. So like I said, if you want to know more about those GTA Plus benefits, go ahead and check that out. Otherwise, as always, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Skull.